TikTok and YouTube. How are we going? Back to a new view. New view, new process. Okay. Let me see. Live stars. How's everyone going? Hi. Welcome. How is everybody going? All right, so today, no more sculpting. I've sculpted everything. If you're joining me and you're new here, I make fake taxidermy pieces. So I've got 7 dolls on the go at the moment. I've got a leopard seal commission piece with a movable jaw. Hey, HB, you love clay more than everything. Me too. I definitely enjoy sculpting. So I finished like this whole mass sculpting of, cat paws. I don't know if I'll show you here. Whoops, look at all the cat paws. So I finished a whole lot of cat paws. And I attached all of the armatures. There's heaps. I still need to attach 4 more armatures, but I'll do that another time. But yeah, so I'm just sort of preparing everything to be put together. So I'll do a little bit of paint prep. This one is ready to be put together. The leopard seal commission, so that's probably going to take precedence over anything just because it's a commission. And we want to get them moving, get them rolling. Right now, I want to finish painting my Gila monster. And then we've got the kitty cats too. So they're super cute. Zoomies. So lots and lots of things to do. All right, so we've got apparently some paint that I poured out to paint it and I didn't end up doing it. So that was cool. Ew. I'll have to wait until that dries. So for the Gila monster, I've basically painted the black, and then I'm going to go over. I need to do another layer of the black because it's not quite covered as much as I'd like. So I'm going to paint the orange first, and the orange that I'm using is skin tone base, apparently, and orange. Give it a bit of a shake. This TikTok is awful. So I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on my palette and start painting the rest of it. So all right, and this one is just a plain orange. Now these are acrylic paints, so they're nothing fancy, but they are the brand Chrome Acryl, and they're quite nice. So now I've got some reference images up on my computer, but I'm going to start with this pastel-y orange colour, which is called Skin Tone Base apparently. And you love your work. Do you use Monster Clay? I do sometimes. If I'm going to mould and cast in, it's my favourite thing to sculpt with. But because it's a wax-based, it doesn't go hard, which is a little bit because yeah, it's really only good for if you're going to mold and cast things or if you want to practice. So I tend to like softer clays, so mine is a soft. Yeah. Thanks for the follow and all the likes. Thank you. We'll see what this live does. It's not looking too good. It's not looking too good as it is. Okay. So I'm just doing these little highlight scales here in the orange. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, it's a bit of a slow live going on here. So not much happening. We'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm just going to do this whole area. Just being careful not to paint over these little black bits that I put on there already. And it is quite textured, so just trying to be careful when I go into the texture here. Just to keep it. That looks really amazing, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're fake taxidermy pieces, so I'm doing a whole heap of different things. So this one's a Zoomies cat, you know, you name it. A whole heap of different things going on here. This one is yawning. And what's going on out there? Something. So I'm just using water-based acrylic paints here to paint this. I will do the same for the claws. I just need to do a like a base coat in white because it is grey. And I think the grey is going to mess with the colour, so we don't want that. You love cats. Me too. Me too. I have too many cats going on. Yeah. Well, I suppose you can't have too many, right? Is there such a thing as too many cats? So I thought this Gila monster would be a fun doll to make after the chameleon. The scales are really great texture. So, you know. And then I think I've decided on the colours that I'm going to do the kitties as well. Not having as cat exactly. You can have as much cats as you want. Well, as long as the cats are happy and healthy. Art doll cats. Phew, you could cover your whole house in them. No mess. All the fun and no mess. All right, it's looking pretty good. So most of the Gila monster head is black, but then the body starts to have a few more patterns on it. And it seems like they're all different too, so is that a lizard or a snake? This is a Gila monster, so it kind of looks like a snake, I guess, but yeah, it's a Gila monster, so it's a type of lizard. So I've neglected to make a lot of reptiles, so we're sort of trying our different reptiles out. I did a lot of experiment with the chameleon, which I'm happy with the way the scales and stuff turned out, so I thought a Gila monster would be a good lizard to do next. Yeah, a lot of people think it's a snake. It's got a very similar head, but their heads are very chunky and like arrow shaped. But yeah, I suppose reptiles have a lot of similar shaped heads. But yeah, it's a Gila monster. I will do snake. Snakes. I will do snake. I will do more snakes. I've done one not too long ago, but I'm sort of trying to work out a way to get like the snake skin texture without using like snake skin or fake snake skin, because it's a bit too thick for art dolls. So looking good. But yeah, I was thinking of maybe like an adder, a rattlesnake maybe. That might be a good one. Yeah, a lot of different options. I mean, it's after I get all of these dolls done, these 7 dolls that I'm working on. This live isn't really doing much today. I don't know if I have to restart it or not. I'll give it another 5 minutes. If it's not doing anything, I'll have to restart. It's not, some days you get days that just won't feed it out to anybody. It's really frustrating. So we'll see how we go. I'll give it 5 minutes. Five minutes to smarten up. They banned you from going live? Why? Yeah, I've literally had like hardly anyone coming in, so it tells me that it's not feeding it out. Who knows? Who knows what goes on? You don't know? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe somebody reported you or something for something. So that's what they do sometimes. I've found. Right. So I might do one here. So we do a few on this little side here, this one, just sort of the tips of it to just give it a few more details. One here. I didn't actually think this would cover the black, but it does. It does, it does. Okay, let's do this one. And this one. No. I feel like there needs to be another one. Maybe like here. Let's do this one. All right, I'm going to restart because this live's cactus not doing anything. Give me 2 seconds. That's TikTok, YouTube, not YouTube. Okay. Okay, let's see how we go with this live now. Some days you just never know. Okay. I think this is looking good. A few more splotches over this side, I think. Might as well do this one. So I'll use the same paints when I'm doing the body as well. Hey, TikTok. Second time lucky. All right, we're doing some Gila Monster painting today. So just doing the orange on them. Looking good, I think. I'm going to paint this actually. A bit uneven. I'm done with the sculpting, so you get to look at my mug now. It's better, a bit more even. This one. What an awesome talent. Thank you. Thanks so much. I call it fakeodermy. Thanks for the likes. Or like, whatever it was. Aren't you afraid of snakes? Not really. I mean, I'd rather venomous ones not come near me. Hi, SDRG Box and Halloween King. How are you guys? Fakeodermy. Yeah, fakeodermy. They're called art dolls generally. I think that's about it. Looking good. I'll add a little bit, a wee bit of orange just to break up the apricot colour. Just a tiny bit. This orange is a bit cactus. It's sort of starting to separate, but it's fine for now. I don't know if I should wait till this dries, to be honest. I reckon I'm going to wait for that to dry. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wait for this to dry and then do like a wash over it. So that's the Gila Monster head so far. I did sculpt the hands. That's exciting. It's claws, whatever you want to call them. I need to put the armatures on them, and I haven't done the nails, but I will do the armatures on these soon. So I've got all of these to do. All of the line paws to paint. This one, we're going to go brown. Zoomies cat, we're going to paint brown. So find a brown. Raw or burnt? Definitely not raw. Not that one. Okay. I'm going to go burnt umber for this one. It's going to be the chocolate coloured cat. No problems. Thanks for stopping by. All right. I found some orange fur as well for the pooping cat. I think it's. I'm hoping it's enough. I'm hoping it's enough. I don't know. Does it look orange? Does it look like an orange cat? Are we getting orange cat vibes? I think so. I think I have like just enough for one of this orange fur, and then I'll put in like the stripes with the airbrush. But yeah, I think orange is okay. It's either going to be orange or silver. I think. I don't know. Okay. Should we get orange? Should I do a post? is this Orange Cat vibes, or actually I have I think it looks good with the orange eyes. I mean the yellow eyes, yellowy green. Or alternatively, I've got this really long silvery which I can sort of use and trim. I've got multiple other ones. Oh, we've got this colour. Can't decide. And I can do like black stripes. A light orange one, yeah. So either one of these, I think. I think orange. Plus this one here is going to be sort of it's a Siamese blue point, so it's going to be grey. So I didn't want to do too many greys, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think orange as opposed to silver. Although it is fluffy. Okay, let's go orange. I've had a couple of people say orange, so, you know, while I was sculpting it and whatnot. It'll look good with the eye colour. Okay, let's do it orange. I think. So for this one, I'm doing it a chocolate Burmese. And I got this for ages ago. And it was cheap too. I managed to get a good deal. And it didn't match what I wanted to do, but it's perfect for a chocolate Burmese. So I'm going to cut this. Oops. You like the hoodie? It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, it's chocolate Burmese, which I'm going to airbrush the chocolate part on. So kind of like that. It's going to look good. Perfect. Guess the brand. You would never guess. Okay, let's paint his one up. Chocolate Burmese. Let's see. Some reference. Now, it's kind of a mix, I think. Definitely Puma. Oh, that's bold of you to assume. Thanks for the follow. It's not Puma. Now I need the pink. It's a pink. No idea. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. Did I just put... never mind. All right. This pink's starting to separate too. I need a new one. Which part of the process of creating these? Probably the sculpting. I like sculpting. Hence I went overboard with sculpting parts for this one. But yeah, the sculpting and like the last adding like the final details. That's always nice. All right. Now, man, TikTok is shit today. Cactus rubbish. I'm going to mix a bit of pink. Exactly. I'm surprised you're like haven't been flagged yet. Well, enjoy your adulting. Not in that way. Not in that way. Okay. I'm just going to stop. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just mixing up like a... I guess it's turning out purple, but not so purple. I'm going to put this in the eyes and maybe like a tad in the ear. Put more of that colour. And just going to start painting around the eyes. The nose and the mouth are brown. All of the rest of it is brown. So it's just this part here. I don't need to be too careful because the eyes are glass, so they come off quite easily with like just some water. So I don't have to be too careful about covering the eyes. I'm just going to go with this custom colour just around the eyes here. Just sort of the waterline bit. And a little bit here. And then I'm going to go over it again with the brown. I just want to get in here with this sort of pinky, purpley colour. It's mostly going to be covered in fake fur anyway. But just a little in here. And then the ears. For the ears, I'm going to do like a little bit of a custom colour, I think. I don't know. I have to restart this TikTok again. It's awful today. Awful. Not great. 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I'm restarting that TikTok again. I'm going to do this custom colour with this and a little bit of apricot. And that just sort of takes the rosiness out of the pink, because this pink is very pink. So I want it more of a kind of like a beigey skin tone, if that makes sense. I might even add some more pink to this. I'd add a lot more pink to it. Okay. So that's this part here. So I'm just basically trying to mute this pink a little bit. Maybe just a tad more. And this pink tends to dry a lot darker as well. So I'm going to go in, see what that looks like. And most of this is going to be covered with fur anyway. So just trying to keep it a little bit clean here. I am going to paint the parts that are going to be brown in the brown, just so there's no white going to show through. So and this little pouch thing, I always forget what it's called. Thanks for the likes. Hello, David. What's going on? So we're painting we're painting the Zoomies cat, Burmese. So I'm just doing a little bit of painting on the ears. And I'm going to paint, it's going to be a chocolate point, so, or a chocolate colour. So I'll be painting, well, the brown on there too. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Happy to answer. If you don't know what I do, I make posable art dolls, basically fake taxidermy pieces. So I don't use any animal products. It's all fake fur. I sculpt all the parts. Stick them on an armature so they're posable. Needle felt the body and then basically sew the body together and then work some more magic, and there you go. That's basically it. Okay, so I'm just add a little bit of pink to around here as well, and then I'll go over it with some brown. Just get some variation in there. Hello, what's your name? Blot. Sorry, I had to cover so I can read it. Blot fan, how are you? Get in there. All right. Again, not being very careful with the paint here. It will clean up. It will clean up. All right, so that is the pink. And then now we're going to do the brown. So basically the brown is sort of the back of the ears and sort of like a little brown mask around the front. So it's the part that I enjoy the most. And I also have to paint the feet too. So the feet are generally brown as well. So I'm going to start with the mouth in this burnt umber colour. And I'll do the airbrushing the same colour as well. So I'm just covering this area to begin with in case we get some show through with brown. We don't want that white show through the fake fur. So and again, we don't need to be very careful with the paint work on this because I'm covering it in fur anyway, so you don't need to be too pedantic about the paint. So it might look messy, but there's a method to the madness. So we've got a brown nose too. I think it's a good colour. So we're just doing a really rough coverage here, so nothing too dramatic. Doesn't matter if there's streaks and whatnot. Again, covered in faux fur, so not a problem. All right, so the mask kind of starts to fade around here. Goes around the eyes, just probably map out where I want this to be. about there, there. Now we need to follow the contours. And when I do the airbrushing, I will sort of fade out these edges so that they're not stark edges. All right, about there, and then sort of around here, and then it gets brushed up here a little bit, like so. So that's basically where we want the mask to be. Looks messy now, but bear with me. We're in like the messiest part where things start to look a bit, how you going? We will get there. Okay. So just gonna go right up to the eye line here. The waterline, let's say. So I'll be a little bit careful with that. I don't know if I have to restart this live again. Okay. So follow this around here. I'll do the ears last, so I don't get that all over my hands. Okay. Probably make the nose a tad darker as well when I get around to it. But yeah, just a preliminary paint work at the moment. Trust me. All right, almost done. The ears next. Don't know if I had better views with the other setup. All right. Very preliminary paint job. Now, ears. So the ears are also brown on the Chalky Burmese. And I will have to paint the feet as well on the Chalkies. So this will all be covered in faux fur too, but wanting to get that layer on so we don't have too much of a see-through before I airbrush it. It's exciting starting to put all the dolls together, making them come to life. Very quiet on the old lives today. Run out of things to talk about. Ask some questions, have a convo. Okay. Need to find my grey as well. I'm thinking, I don't know, gotta wait. No, I don't. I'm just trying to work something out in my head. Just need to find a grey paint. Oh, that's sort of what it's going to look like. So the Chalky Burmese. So sort of what it's going to look like. So that's the really, really preliminary paint work on it. Thank you for the follow. And yeah, this is going to be the zoomies one. So it's got a bit of a cheeky face. This is going to be the pooping one. So we're going with orange, pooping face. And yawning face. So just going to put this here to dry. You don't want brown on that one. This one I have to be a little bit careful with, just because it's got all the extra detail. So it will have a point in it. Thank you for the follow. Now we're going to get 4 paws. 1, 2. I've got so many paws here. 3, 4. And they're roughly the same size. So this is going to be for the Zoomies cat, which I have to paint brown anyway. So paws on chocolate Burmese, I think are usually brown. I liked your video on the clay you used. You've never used regular Sculpey, just Super Sculpey. Super Sculpey's all right. I use it sometimes, not a lot, but yeah, I use it sometimes. I use it for these paws. But yeah, I thought I'd do a short from it. I may have missed it from a previous video, but are these cat commissions? No, they're not. They're just my bright idea. My bright idea. The yawning kitty, pooping kitty complete with poop. So pooping kitty complete with poop. So you can prop the poop up however you like. And the Zoomies kitty. Zoomies one. So I've only got one commission, which is the leopard seal. But all right, let's paint up the paws and leave those to dry as well. So, okay, I need to find some grey paint, which I do have. I just have to find it in my tub of Jesus Christ. So they will all be for sale. Let me just have a look at chocolate Burmese paws, just to check the paw pads. I think they're a mixture of. I think I'm just gonna. Yeah, look. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like a little bit of a wash over this to make them a little bit brown. So I will paint it haphazardly. Okay. I will paint it and then I'll give this a bit of a water down to just go over it. This is what I'll do. And I have to sort of get in between here so there's no white showing through. So I need to get under these little paw pads, toe beans. then a wash. I'll use a wash with a different brush. So I can get it off the edges. So we want the wash to go around, clean it up a bit. Okay. Now the rest of it, really rough paint job. So you probably, this is all going to be covered in fur anyway, again, but just getting that base layer down so there's no white show through when I do that. So what I'll do is I'll finish painting these paws, and then I'll attach the armature to the Gila Monster hands. So that'll be ready for painting. I do have to give it a white coat, base coat, because it is grey, and the grey is not going to, sort of mutes colours a little bit, and I don't really like painting on top of grey things. It's a little bit annoying. Mutes the colours too much. All right. So you don't have to cover every single nook and cranny here. So we've got one paw. Okay, leave that to dry. Dry where? Oh, just there, who cares? Alright. Again, just haphazardly in here. And then I'll go in with my water. Once I paint everything up, I can start constructing all the dolls. I probably will concentrate on the leopard seal mostly to begin with, but I like to work on a couple of different dolls all at once anyway, so, you know, no biggie. If I move on to a couple of different ones, so just give this a white water wash. Go to the top, clean up that clay, the brown off the clay. So they've got kind of pink toe beans, but they're a little bit different. A little bit washed out with the brown. All right. Okay. All right, that's one or two. Two. in between. What's going on outside? I can hear noises. I can hear tinkering. Thanks for the likes, guys. Maybe people don't like this view. I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those days. It's one of those days. Right, a bit of a wash. Wash. All right. So I can't see what you're making. I am making, I don't know if you're new here, but I make art dolls, so fake taxidermy pieces. Hence, sort of what we're going for. There's a chameleon that I made, but we're making a lot of things. So I'm just painting up some parts for the Zoomies cat, which is a chocolate Burmese that we're going for. So I just did the face, sort of what you get, Zoomies face. So I'm just painting up the paws for it, which are also going to be chocolate color. So they're all sculpted out of polymer clay. So I'm sort of just prepping all the parts before I start constructing the doll. So I've got 7 on the go at the moment, so a lot. All right, that's another one. Last one. Yes, so I'll do the Gila Monster claws. So I use epoxy sculpt to attach the armatures to my clay pieces. So I generally put gloves on for that, just because in their instructions they say to put gloves on when mixing, so there must be some like weird chemical reaction thing to it. Poo, nice, yes. One of them is a poopy cat. So this is the pooping cat, and it comes complete with some poop. There we go. Anyway, maybe I'll leave this here, and then people will question my sanity. I question my sanity. No, it's a bit of a joke series. So it's called Action Cats, so the cats are doing things, you know. So the joke is pooping cat. That's one joke. Pooping, zoomies, and yawning. So it's all part of owning a cat, right? They like to do that in the most inappropriate times, like my cat. Every time I go in the bathroom, she's like, "Oh, you're going in there. Oh, I need to shit." Yes, please. Lovely. Acquired taste, I like to think. Acquired taste in jokes. Not everybody's cup of tea. that is that done. All right, so 4 bits of armature. I don't have a cat, but you have a dog who acts like a cat. Who doesn't like dog cats? Dog cats. Cat dogs. Can't go wrong. I don't have a dog, so. All right, so these are the armatures. This is, which side are we doing? So, trying to remember. All right, so. From me. That's a handy little tip if you need to poke your gloves back around the other way. Just blowing it. Okay, so I'm just going to be adding the armatures to. I really hate these gloves too. So I'm going to be using epoxy sculpt. 2 parts epoxy. And I don't need all that much, so I did a whole heap of them yesterday, I think it was. I have 5 sets of paws that I did. And I'm going to be doing 4 Gila Monster paws. Claws, paws, not paws, claws. So basically, the epoxy sculpt is a 2-part epoxy. Generally goes rock hard once you're done with it. So it's just like off cut, leftover stuff. It goes rock hard. Is that going to be enough? Maybe too much. So what I do to get equal parts is I like to roll claws and paws. Paws and claws, paws and poops. Claws, paws and poops. Maybe I should just say welcome to claws, paws and poops. So what I like to do is roll out 2 balls and sort of just make sure that they're the same volume. Don't forget the buttholes too, okay? That goes with that. And the one in the background. Thanks for the share. Okay, so we want them roughly the same size because they're equal parts. I think they're roughly the same. Just get that away. Okay, and you can sort of add a little bit of water and it makes it easier to work with. So I generally like to use the white coloured one because you can tell when it's mixed in a little bit better than this grey one. But I actually got that grey one off Amazon and it was a lot cheaper than buying it from any store here. It was heaps cheaper buying it off Amazon, but they only had the grey, which again I'm not a huge fan of the grey because you can't quite tell if it's mixed in properly. Like you can, but you can't. The white, you can tell, you can really see the marbling in it. So, and this you have about, depending on temperature, about half an hour, 45 minutes to work with it before it starts tacking off and it's going hard. So you are on like a crunch with it, but you can smooth it out with water and it's really handy. So this one, because I'm doing it in 4 parts, I'm just going to divide it into 4 equal parts so I know that I'm using the same amount on each foot. Okay, so I take a tiny bit from this one, that one, tiny bit from each, just to bulk this last one up. All right, so basically I get my piece. I like to flatten it out, and then I get my armature piece with the male end, and I just basically wrap it around, get a little bit of water. I've already preliminarily made a hole in it where the armature sits. And this one is, what is this one? Is it a back paw? This is a back claw. So I'm going to angle it up because their feet are sort of angled a little further up. All right, so, and then I'm just going to start blending it into the foot, and might be a little bit too much on there, so just take a little bit off. And again, you're just using water to smooth it out. I reckon I've mixed too much. Don't need to attach anything else to anything, which is a shame. So I'll have a little bit of leftover epoxy sculpt. And I'm just going to make sure it's not on the joint so it doesn't affect the way that moves. So this will move around a little bit while you're trying to blend it all in, but then you can sort of angle it. So that is the back paw, back claw. So I want it to stand up, sort of like that. A little bit. And that'll be the back. And you can sort of bend it, you know, when you get around to it. Okay, the next bit. And I'll just do this one. Again, it's a little bit too much. Wrap it around. A little bit of water. And go this way. And just start sort of trying to compress it in a little bit. Gets all the air bubbles out. And really sort of adheres to that armature. So generally you get air bubbles around that top bit here. So I really like to push it in so it doesn't sort of create a weak spot in it. And again, I'm just using water to smooth it out so we don't have any scraggly ends, and it's nice and adhered to the rest of the sculpt. Okay, I think that's looking good. The next two, how long does it take to finish dolls? It can be anywhere between 20 to 40 hours, just depending on what it is. The chameleon, so I did the chameleon, that took about 35 hours. The skin took 10 hours to do, so I did all of the scales by hand, one at a time. And then I painted the doll, hand painted the doll. But generally they don't take that long. It's just if they have, you know, really fine details like scales in reptiles, it just takes a bit longer to get all of that scale work done. So even sculpting reptiles take a little bit longer. But yeah, generally about 25 hours is an average. So yeah, a bit of time to do it. Okay. Now, I just want to have a look at Gila Monster feet. And they're sort of flattish. Let's go with that. Let's go with that angle. Okay. Have you made a dragon? Yeah, I've done a few dragons before in my time. I've got a couple in my shop to be precise. But yeah, I've made a few dragons in my time. I plan to make some of the Game of Thrones dragons, the House of the dragons. I made a really big Drogon a few years ago, which I sort of want to pull apart and revisit the structure of it, because I made it many years ago and I think I know a bit more now. So I'd like to remake that doll at some point. That'll be a big task, but yeah, I'd like to do that again. I reckon I could just, do the body a bit better. Be a big project, but yeah, I've made a decent amount of dragons. But I want to do, I don't know if you're familiar with House of the Dragons, but yeah, I want to do Sea Smoke and maybe like Cyrax or something. Bit of a different, or Carax as well. A Wyvern type dragon. So yeah, I do have dragons on the horizon. I think I can do a pretty good job with the skin these days as well. So I'd like to experiment with that. All right, I think that's an okay angle as well. So for the claws for the Gila Monster, I will do. I've got to stand this up again. Latex. So they're not so fragile. I've got this bit that we don't really need. I'm just going to launch it. Yeah. I always hate getting gloves off. I don't want to turn them inside out because I reuse the gloves a number of times. You've watched House of the Dragon. Yeah, same. It'd be nice to get some, good images of all the other dragons as well. Dreamfire and Sheepstealer would be a cool one to make. Okay, so next, if I can find the grey. So here's my Gila Monster. I did some paint work on it. So that's a Gila Monster. Can't quite tell. Yeah. Tell a little bit there. This one, grey. Silver. All right, let's do blue Siamese. So they're just generally grey. All right, let's do cute. I don't even know which one would be my favourite. Probably Sea Smoke, right? Isn't that everybody's favourite? All right, we're going to do the inside of the ears. Grey. I actually need a new grey because I don't have much of this left. I mean, I can mix it. It's not that hard, but I hope this is the right grey. bit of yucky. Ugh. I think that's okay. Yeah, that'd do. For now. I mean, sheep stealer looked pretty cool, but we only got like a really quick look. Okay, so for the Siamese, we've got stretchy hands. 2, 3, 4. And we want, so grey, really. What is that? Of course it's a hair, because why wouldn't I have hair in it? I'm just going to mix a little bit of this grey into the pink for the inside of the ears. You like Caraxes, yeah. Just because it's like a bit of a different looking doll. I like them all too. How can you pick one? They're all cool. I just like dragons. Alright, so I'm gonna paint inside the ear in this grey pinky colour. And then I'll paint the outside of it grey. So yeah, I don't know when I'll get around to that, but I will. I've done the eyes for it, which I'm probably not 100% happy with now anyway. I've just got a different way of doing eyes at the moment. So it's hard to get good reference images as well, so you sort of just have to like make things up. But that's fine. Hello, how are you? Finally doing some painting. Getting some prep done to put all of these dolls together. Done. I finished all of the sculpting. Hooray! So yeah, I've got 7 dolls to put together now. You know we can see the cat's a-hole in the back. No. I would never. I'm making a whole pooping cat. Come on. Okay. Got the inside of the ears in like a little greyish pink. It didn't get me in trouble. Some people just got a bit weird about it. They prompted the poopy cat. That's it. That's it. Okay, so for this one, what we're going to do is very carefully go around the mouth. Thank you for the share. Very carefully go around the mouth. I don't want to get too many, I don't want to get grey on things, so let's try. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the heart me. I'm just doing a little outline. So sort of just up to where I initially have this little pinky gum. Thanks for all the Thanks for all the likes. It's going to be fun putting all these together and, you know, starting to think about like what stop motions to do. Just want to clean this bit up here. Thank you for the share. Wish I could stay on live a bit longer. I think it starts picking up after like an hour. It starts, you know, hey, you've been here for a while. Maybe we'll push it out a bit more. All right. I was going to the vet with my cat yesterday, but he didn't come in. 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. You were there that whole time? Was that like the emergency? Or do you work there? I can't remember. Have a new one today, so now he can't go out. Oh, jeez. So, the kittens have like a smaller mask, let's call it. Just not going to go too overboard with it. So I think we decided to do orange for the pooping cat. An ear infection. I know that can be quite painful for them. They shake their heads a lot. So just following this bit, trying not to get paint everywhere. Okay. We're getting a good progress done on this. Sorry, I have to put my because I can't see. It doesn't show signs of pain. Yeah, exactly. They're really hard to know when they're sick or in pain, unless they're actually like really sick or in pain. Wish I was that tough. I'm gonna have to paint the nose anyway, even though I did it in pink because I wasn't sure what color I was going to do. But it needs to be dark grey, so I'm just gonna have to paint over the pink. That's fine. So just clean up. Yeah, they are. My last cat, she was about 17 before my cat now. She had diabetes and I had no idea until it was too late to even know. Had no idea. She must have had it for ages. Had no idea. It just hit it. She was old as well, you know. She'd have like off days, but I always just assumed it was just her being old. She'd broken her leg years before. So sometimes she'd be a bit meh on days. And it must be like, you know, she had arthritis from the break. But yeah, no idea. Had no idea. Follow a little bit down here. A little bit on the chin. They are easy prey in nature when they, yeah, exactly. They have to hide it. Not that they do much these days. It's all about their pride, right? Unless there's another cat around it, I don't know. Oh, drama. Drama central. Cute. Maybe. Alright, so just around the eyes. I'm just going to do the eyelids grey. Nothing's fancy. Nothing fancy. Nose, grey. So just a little bit around the eyes. And then we take it up in this middle bit. So I'm not being careful with my paint. There's no need. I'm just slapping it on there because I'm covering it in fur anyway. And then we need to follow sort of down here. Okay. Love how the AI summaries pooping cat art doll. That's what it took out of the whole thing. That's what it's taken out of the whole thing. You're sorry to hear about your cat. Yeah, it was 7 years ago now. But she was definitely the soul cat. Nothing will ever be the same. No kitty will ever be the same. I feel like someone's always got that like one pet where it's just that's the one. Unfortunately. But she had a good innings. She had a good life. Here's my buddy. That's too funny. Yeah. Why do you paint them with? So I'm just doing like the preliminary paint job, just because when I put the fur on, sometimes if it's dark, the white shows through. So I don't want that. I want the brown to show through. So it's really just a quick paint job just to cover that. So there's no reason. Normally, if it's just white, I wouldn't bother. But I don't want that white to show through. So just a quick coat. It sort of helps map out where I want the paint to be as well. So yeah. And then the last bit are the ears. So I don't know how I'm supposed to animate these with the stop motion because they're already in like an action pose. So I was like, I can't really open and close a mouth for yawning, you know. So I really have to try and think. Okay, it's behind the ear. Let's just do the side here. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever have a cat that's not a Burmese. I just really like Burmese. I like Abyssinians, but I've never had an Abyssinian before, so I don't know if I'd like their personality. But I know they're dog-like, but I haven't like spent time with one to know if I'd like that breed. But definitely would never get a Bengal. Definitely not. Even though they look nice. No thanks. It makes it different. Make a different one. Yeah. I mean, I've already got 3 on the go. But I thought about maybe like an AI animator, but I don't know. I like stop motion and AI. I just don't like AI. Unless it's for like chat GPT. But in terms of art, I don't know. Alright. Siamese so far. I mean, it looks crap at this point in time, but we're getting there. This way. Okay. So I've got to paint the feet now. So I've got 2 stretchy feet. These will be the front ones. Yeah, it does. It 100% does. So I kind of don't want to put it on there either. You know? Even though it's a sculpture, still. So these paws are going to be grey as well. I mean, I could have killed 2 birds with 1 stone and just used Cosplay. And then I didn't have to paint it. But that doesn't matter. Of course, we have a bunch of hair in there. Why wouldn't we? You do diamond painting. What's diamond painting? Like the rhinestones? Might be way off there. My mind automatically went to like those rhinestone pictures. Yeah, canvas glue, resin beads. Ah, yeah. Gotcha. Time consuming? I would think so. Not that this isn't time consuming either, but what's not, right? This grey always dries a little bit darker than what the wet paint looks. Sometimes that happens. It is time consuming. Yeah. I mean, doing the dots or the scales, which are just dots, for the chameleon was sort of, I did each dot individually with a dropper. Yeah, I get it. I get the relaxing Mandela type thing. stretchy hand. I'm going to do the claws out of latex too, so they're a bit more durable. Won't break. Won't break when you look at it. I think the next lot of dolls, 7, the next lot of dolls, I think I might do, I don't know if anyone knows the game Okami, but I think I might do that. It was here when you did, oh, you were here? Yeah. I can't remember. So many people like in and out, you know. Your name was Carrie Queen then. Oh, did you change it? Obviously. Okami. Was it? Yes, it is the wolf game. It's it's like my favorite game. One of my favorites. So yeah, I want to do probably the Shiranui rather than Amaterasu. I've been wanting to make one for the longest time. So I think in my next lot, I will do that. Just as like, you know, a doll for me. But yeah, it's my favorite game. So, you know, I made Frank the Rabbit from Donnie Darko just for me, just for my personal collectathon. So yeah, maybe I'll do Amaterasu or Shiranui. I think Shiranui. I like the colours a bit better and the pattern work on it. But I always wanted to make the tiger from there as well. But then you got to put them somewhere, and I don't have all that much room here. So we will get there. I did there's a character called Oki. And I sculpted, I don't even know if I have it still. Let's see if I still have it. I do. I sculpted one from years ago, the plate from Amaterasu. Yes, I am Australian. I'm from Melbourne. But I did sculpt it. I sculpted that years ago. So long ago. And now that I look at it, I'm like, ew. I hate it. I probably wouldn't use that. It's not good enough anyway. Does your kid want to play with your creations? She's quite gentle, actually. She did like the leopard seal, so she wanted to brush its teeth. You're a Brizzy. What am I doing? I basically make art dolls, so fake taxidermy pieces, if that makes sense. Here's an example. Chameleon that I finished not too long ago, but yeah, they're posable art dolls, so you know, you can pose them in all sorts of different ways. But yeah, just working on kind of mainly doing some prep work, you know, getting all these parts ready to be put together. So I've got 7 dolls on the go at the moment, just to, you know, spice things up a bit. Yeah, I make a load of different things, so I try to make them as realistic as I can. So I'm working on a Gila monster now. So we've got basically the head here, it's all painted. Got to do the feet. We've got a Burmese Zoomies cat. So they look awful at this point. They look awful until they're finished from this point, if that makes sense. But yeah, basically tabletop sized fake taxidermy pieces. I can see the vision. That's good. But yeah, we've got a male and a female lion on the go at the moment as well. So this is the spicy female, but we've got, this will be the male. Sorry, I can't see. You just started to paint the head. Well, funnily enough, I applied for it, but I haven't heard back from him, so I'm not hopeful. Not hopeful, but I did apply for a vendor, but it's almost, it says you hear back in 45 days, but I haven't heard from them, so I'm not hopeful that I got a spot, but I did apply. So I'll definitely let everybody know. Oh, shit. Oh, I didn't even realize what the time was. But yeah, I did apply. So I'll let everybody know if I got in. But yeah. I didn't even realize what the time was. I normally have to jump off at 2 because the child wakes up at 2. Yeah, I hope so too. I know they said they don't reply to you if you didn't get a spot, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of see, I don't know if it's 45 business days either. But yeah, I did try. I tried. I thought I'd be a good match. How much odder can you get? It's odd and curious. All right, just quickly do this foot here, and then I'll have to bid you adieu. Yeah, might be business days. It just says 45 days, so I don't know. I'm not hopeful. I'm not holding my breath now. But yeah, if I do hear from them, I'll probably have to do a lot of prep for that as well. So there's a whole bunch of things that I want to do for that. So yeah, we will see what happens. Okay, I think I'm going to have to leave it there. So YouTube, I'll be on tomorrow again, tomorrow at about 12:30ish until 2ish. I'll do some more prep work for all of these things. I'll paint up the Gila Monster feet and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll be on about 12:30ish tomorrow. YouTube, catch you